Okay, hello there kids. Today you're going to learn how to solve for the missing angle algebraically. Okay, so which means gagamit tayo ng equation. Okay, so yun ang pinaka-importante kasi technically kasi pagdating nyo in other schools, they are going to require you to make use of the equation rather than just what we did last time, yung basic solving. Although it will still lead you to the correct answer, to the same answer, pero yun na nga, you still at some point need to learn how to do it algebraically. Okay. So, solving for the missing angle algebraically. So, sa basic, no, you have already learned last time that all you need to do, knowing that a straight line basically measures 180 degrees, and all you need to do is to take off or remove the given angle or angles, kasi depende nga, di ba, kung ilan angles yung given. So in this case, you have 1. So all you need to do now is just to subtract 55 from 180, which will lead us to an answer of 125 degrees. Okay. Now, how are you going to do it algebraically? So ganito yan. Knowing that a straight line or angle AOB in this case, knowing that a straight line measures 180 degrees. So in this case, that straight line is angle AOB. Angle AOB is equivalent to 180 degrees. Okay, basic information muna natin. Identifying the angles, no? Angle AOB is equivalent to ang 180 degrees. Etong angle na to, 55 degrees, is COB. So that's angle COB. Even if you're going to interchange them, okay lang. BOC, okay lang. This is now equivalent to 55 degrees. And the missing angle natin dito, which is ang X, is AOC. So, angle AOC. I hope that is clear, no? So, again, try natin i-color code. This COB, kaya siya naging COB because point C, point O, point B. And of course, the vertex should always be at the center. And, angle AOC naman, AOC, points AOC. That's why we were able to come up with the name of AOC, and in which O is at the center because O is our vertex. Okay, so klaro na ha? We were able to name the angles. Okay, we were able to name the angles na. So we now have angle AOB, which consists of the entire straight line. Angle COB, which is equivalent to 55 degrees, and angle AOC, which is our missing value. So, ang gagawin natin dito ngayon is to put them all up in one line. Equate everything. Knowing that angle AOB is the total, so angle AOB is equivalent to angle AOC plus angle COB. In other words, itong angle na to, AOB, the straight line, is equivalent to angle AOC added to angle COB. If you're going to add AOC, if you're going to add this angle and this angle, this sum up to the straight line, which is equivalent to angle AOB. Okay? So, ganyan lang muna. So, what you do next here is to substitute the value. Angle AOB is equivalent to 180. So, just rewrite its actual value, 180 minus angle AOC, which is in this case is X, plus angle COB, which is in this case is 55 degrees. Okay. Now you have an X. You want to leave X alone in one side of the equation. And since our relationship between X and this 55 is addition, all you need to do is to remove 55 from this side of the equation. Itong side na to. How do we remove it? By simply subtracting 55 from this equation. So in other words, this will now become X plus 55 degrees minus 55 degrees. Kasi nga, we are trying to remove 55 degrees there. Why? Because you want to leave X alone in one side of the equation. Okay, yun na kasi ang purpose nyo eh. You want to leave it alone. And there is a special rule kasi. There is a special rule when dealing with equations. What you do in one side, which is in this case, we subtracted 55. You should also do it on the other side of the equation, which is in this side, 180 degrees. Since nag-minus tayo ng 55 here, we should also subtract 55 here. Which now leaves us with x alone. Kasi ito, cancelled out yan. Diba? This will become 0. 55 minus 55 is 0, which will now leave us with x. 180 minus 55, we already have the answer earlier, so that's equivalent to 125 degrees. So this is how you do it algebraically. Okay? Ito yung entire process. First, rewriting the original equation. Depende nga yan because we identify the values through the names of the angles. Okay? So for example, another example para hindi tayo mahirapan. Okay, I know that this is confusing for you for now. Okay, again, first things first, know that you have a straight line or the angle AOB, which is equivalent to 180 degrees. Then all you need to do now is just to identify the other angles, which is in this case, you have angle AOD, which is ito, angle AOD, which is equivalent to 105 degrees. You have your angle DOC, which is the value of x, angle DOC, which is in this case is x. Then you also have your other angle here, which is COB. Okay, angle COB, which has a value of 35. Okay, then again, knowing that all these three angles, you have 1, 2, para to avoid confusion, 1, 2, 3 angles. All these three angles lie along the straight line, which is yung angle AOB. Okay, angle AOB. All these three, in other words, all these three is equivalent to 180. So rewriting this, we now have angle AOB equals angle AOD plus angle DOC plus angle COB. Okay? Again, itong angle na to is equivalent to 180, and all these three angles, 1, 2, 3, is all equivalent to 180 if you're going to add them all up. So, doing so, all you need to do now is to substitute the value. Solving for angle AOB tayo. Missing angle nga pala natin is angle DOC. So, you're solving for this one. Angle DOC. So, substitute lang natin yung values natin. Angle AOB is equivalent to 180 degrees. Equals to angle AOD, which is equivalent to 105 degrees. Plus angle DOC, which is in this case is X. Plus angle COB, which is in this case is 35 degrees. Okay. Now, you might notice we now have two angles here. And again, you have x, which is your unknown. In this case, you want to leave x alone. So, the best thing for you to do first is to add these two muna. 105 and 35. Add nyo muna yan. 105 plus 35 will basically give you 140 degrees. Okay, ni-add natin yan sila ha, ni-add natin. So, i-rewrite natin to. Sulatin na lang muna natin si x una para hindi tayo malito. X plus, when added 105 and 35 will give us 140 degrees. Okay? So, i-rewrite natin yung equation. Again, you're solving for x and you want to leave x alone in one side of the equation, which means you want to remove 140 here. And since 140, the relationship between 140 and x is addition, you want to remove 140 by simply subtracting it from the equation. So, x plus 140 degrees minus 140 degrees. Bakit tayo nagma-minus? To cancel it all out. Because you want to leave x alone in one side of the equation. Okay, so ganun lang po kadali yun. Now, again, there's a golden rule. What you do in one side, since we subtracted 140 in this side of the equation, you should also subtract 140 from this side of the equation. Okay, so which now leaves us with x alone and 180 degrees minus 140 degrees. Doing so, 180 minus 140 is equivalent to 40 degrees, which now leaves us with x equivalent to 40 degrees. Okay, so ngayon alam na natin that x is equivalent to 40 degrees. Just the same thing here. We now know that x is equivalent to 125 degrees. Okay, so this is hard. If you need assistance, I am willing to help. Just let me know. Yun nga, the problem is you don't message me. So please do. Kasi kapag if you don't message me, I assume that you already know. I assume that you don't need my help, my assistance. Okay? So anyway, that's it. That's how you basically solve for the missing angle using the algebraic approach. Okay?